Trying to record in front of ferrets is not very easy as they like to make a lot of noise. Anyway, hello, I'm Laura and welcome back to my journey to become plastic free. Today, I'm going to take you inside of what I do to be as eco-friendly as possible when keeping ferrets. So keeping pets can be not only a lot of money, but can be really harmful and wasteful to the environment. But I have found some cool tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you today on how you can make this eco-friendly and save a lot of money. So the first thing I want to talk about is the daily maintenance of your animals. So I am as plastic free as possible, but I do have a lot of plastic here at my ferret cage. But let me explain. There's this term called upcycling. And I'm sure most of you have heard it, but basically it's that you take things that are plastic and you give them a second life. Whether it's the same life of the thing that it was in the first place, or you give it a new life. Now, I rescued most of my ferrets, and at the rescue, they also have things like cages that you can purchase. That's 100% donation, and these are metal. They do have plastic bottoms, but they are used, so they're very, very old. I did not buy new. Also, they have litter boxes that you can get, and I have a few of those that I took from him. Very, very inexpensive. In fact, he just gave me a lot of them that I use with recycled pellets for my ferrets. Now, they don't really like that. They like to go in front of the litter box. I do have a lot of them, and sometimes they don't want to go in one litter box because another one went there first. So I do use newspapers that I get in the mail. I take those newspapers and I upcycle them and I use them as wee-wee pads. There are also options of eco-friendly wee-wee pads out there. I'm going to try some reusable ones soon, but I do have these ones that are made from pulp, but I found out that they're actually only 50% recycled materials. So I'm going to stick with the newspapers and recycled pellets for now. I don't really have to change the recycled pellets that often because they don't go in there a lot. Another really cool way to be eco-friendly with your animals, especially ferrets, is recycle your clothes. So we have old t-shirts, old rags, hoodies, you name it, that these ferrets love. All of these hammocks are secondhand and or made of the most sustainable materials, and I reuse them over and over and over again. They are washable. Now, ferrets are sensitive to smell, so I use a special cleaner, which is 100% all natural ingredients, and it's naked. It's plastic free. So I take my old bottles and I take this tablet from Blue Lens and I put it into water, I let it dissolve, and I use it. It smells great and my ferrets are not bothered by it. The food and water bowls that I have, yes, they're plastic, but they hang on the cage because ferrets like to make a mess when they eat. These are also from the rescue. I may have purchased one of them. They do make them in metal, so if you don't have one yet and you don't have a rescue near you or anywhere that you can purchase used ones, make sure to get the metal ones because that is a step in the right direction. But I have them already, so I'm not going to get rid of them because it's very important to keep reusing plastic that you already have. All of the toys that I've had for my other pets, such as my cats and dogs, the ferrets actually stole and hid under their cage, and every week I go and I sweep them out and I put them back in the middle of the floor and let them hide them all over again. Once they get really dirty, I actually take them and I wash them, so I don't need to buy any new toys. A lot of the toys are actually made from upcycled or recycled plastic bottles. There's companies out there where you can get pet toys that are really eco-friendly. Also, there's a lot of really cool things for ferrets out there, but don't be tempted to buy them because honestly, they don't play with them. What they play with is my trash. My things that I'm going to recycle. Anything new or any package that you get, you open it and the ferrets will instantly come and they'll want to play inside. So here's some boxes. In fact, one of these boxes that they're playing in is from the Eco Wee Wee Pads, and the other box is actually from a company called Who Gives a Crap. So when a ferret does poop or pee on the floor, I actually use recycled bamboo paper towels. Another really cool thing about being eco-friendly with ferrets is I use these upcycle paper towels with this eco-friendly cleaner, and we just go in there, I vacuum all the crumbs because they can be messy, and then I wipe everything down, and I'm done. So as I'm putting all of the blankets in there, the ferrets play, they have fun, they keep me company, and then I wash everything with my eco laundry detergent. My eco laundry detergent is unscented, just for the ferrets. Sometimes I put the t-shirts and stuff on as they love to have my scents. But I have so many old t-shirts, and after a while, when they're not worth being ferret blankets, I'll actually cut them up and make them into rags, something like the on-paper towels. Wash them and reuse them over and over again. There is food that comes in paper bags. The problem is that most ferret feed is not really good for them. So I do go to the food stores and the meat markets and get organs such as liver and hearts, parts that people aren't probably going to eat, and I boil them and I cut them up and feed them to my ferrets. It's also really good to give them bones and stuff like that that are not cooked and that are made for ferrets, as ferrets in the wild are carnivores. There is nothing better than having a companion that you know can be as little impactful as possible by reducing, reusing, refusing, and upcycling plastic. Now, ferrets actually poop a lot. When I let them free roam, I do use eco-friendly pads around the house. Now, ferrets will almost always poop in the same places, as they like to back up into a corner. So once you know those spots that your ferret backs up to go to the bathroom, those are the spots that you want to put your eco-friendly pads. Now I'm looking into getting some reusable ones, and I know that sounds really gross, but ferret poop is so tiny. They're so little, but they do poop a lot. They'll poop every time they wake up, and they'll poop 20 minutes after they eat. They do sleep about 20 hours a day though, so it is great. That's Taz. He is called Taz because he's a Tasmanian devil. He gets into a lot of trouble, but he is a lot of fun. A lot of my ferrets are older and they require medication. Now, how can you be eco-friendly when you have to give medication twice a day? So I try to be as eco-friendly as possible. When I'm giving medication to my ferrets, and I reuse the same syringe over and over again. I get the largest bottle of medicine that we possibly can. You gotta do what you gotta do. But just know that being eco-friendly with ferrets is usually not feasible towards the end of their life. Now, this is due to the industry, so the best bet is to rescue a ferret. If you rescue a ferret, you're most likely still getting a ferret that you would find at the pet store. I have to clean the rest of the house, so I have to keep him in here. So, sorry, Des. I love you. I love you. Come here. Come here. Now, he might seem like he's shivering, but ferrets actually drop their body temperature when they're sleeping, so when they wake up, they shiver to warm their body temperature back up. Right, Judgy Boo? Oh, you see, he really wants to go. He wants to go run around and sleep wherever he wants. As I have old carriers and blankets and stuff hanging off the couch so they can sleep in them. Right, Tazzy? Even the corner of my bed. And this guy is so clever that we upcycled old baby gates. Took out the little net because he could climb them, and we put in plywood instead so the ferrets can't climb when we don't want them to get out of the room. And we also have the opportunity to be able to lift it a little bit because ferrets can crawl underneath and keep the dogs out of the rooms that we don't want them to go in. But this guy, he can escape them. He can climb them. But right now he's not feeling good, right? Otherwise, I would show you. Now, ferrets will rearrange stuff no matter where you put it, even if it's somewhere that they think they normally like. They just want to do it themselves. But keeping pets can be really not environmentally friendly, and I want to teach you some ways that even though you can be plastic free, you can also be eco-friendly. So let me stop recording and clean the house so I can let them free roam.